Okay, you're on.
Hey family, this is Shirley from HipHopRepublican.tv, the live version. We're on the studio today. We are a guest on the Rick Amato show. Rick, that last name, is it Italian?
It is Italian with some Sicilian in it.
Oh, now can you cook?
I can cook.
Oh, talk to me. What's your favorite meal?
I cook a lemon pasta.
Lemon pasta, really?
I cook a lemon sauce.
Any basil?
Oh, yeah. You got a basil, you got a salt, pepper, garlic, onion, you got some red pepper.
You know, you just had me on your show just now, and we've talked about from Islam to unemployment to the president. What is your feeling? Who do you think is going to run for office, and who do you think is front runner?
You know, it's interesting. My opinion flip-flops, so to speak. Probably wrong choice of words. My opinion goes back and forth each week. Here's what I think. Here's what I'm thinking right now, Shirley. We had on the show a week or so ago Art Laffer, that was President Reagan's economist.
Okay.
He's from right here in San Diego, lives in Nashville.
Art, yes, yeah, absolutely.
And I have a lot of respect for Art Laffer. And we talked about the race for 2012. And Art Laffer said something so simple, but I thought it was very dead on. I thought it was profound. And no one's talking about it. Art Laffer said, look, Rick, I think that every presidential election is a referendum on the incumbent.
Okay.
He said, Art Laffer said, I think Obama won so big in '08 because people were fatigued over the war, the economy was suffering, and people didn't think, by and large, George Bush really did that bang up of a job. He said that Bill Clinton won in, 90, whatever it was.
Yeah, because of the pro split that's going on.
Okay. And George Bush lost that election. Clinton didn't win it, I think, although the pro made a difference. And he went on to say that his old boss, Ronald Reagan, won because Jimmy Carter was so bad.
So who was your front runner choice?
My point being, I think Obama has a very steep uphill climb no matter who gets the nomination because he's doing such a horrible job in office and in particular on the economy.
I think selling the horrible job is not the problem. I think that people agree with that. The challenge to me that the Republicans have is they don't have a front runner that's owning that problem.
No.
They're addressing other issues like his birth certificate and
his
wife and slavery. I mean, let's address the issues of unemployment.
Oh, you got to get off. You're right. I agree. You got to get off line out of garbage.
You know,
there's no front runner. I think Rick Perry.
Texas.
Yeah, I think he can emerge as a front runner. I'm going to mention a name who you don't like. The odds are against her. But I'll tell you why. I think Michele Bachmann has.
I disagree with you. I do not dislike Michele Bachmann. I think she's very sharp. I watched her when I was working on Make Women's campaign. I think she's a very sharp lady. I think some of the things that she says is irrelevant.
So I misquoted you.
She's irrelevant when you talk about slavery and you're disconnecting from the people.
I agree.
You're going to lose a lot of people.
You got to get away from that.
Yeah.
The reason I think that she has potential is she has so much Tea Party support nationwide.
Absolutely, she does.
Yeah, and that's quite the wild
someone
card.
can just kind of do a steer. It's like when you cook in some good pasta, or you want to turn that oven up a little bit a different way. I think it can make a change. But I think when you start right now, you're not talking about things connecting with the people with unemployment and jobs, and the people still losing their houses, and the banks winning. They're winning. They're trillions of dollars and covering the bank's bills versus ours.
It's an interesting comment you make about her because what I hear you saying, Shirley, is that she's running the campaign not like a big-time presidential candidate, but like an amateur.
Well, I think the Republican Party as a whole didn't look at the Obama administration as a machine. I mean, the Obama administration was a machine when it worked with Google, when it set up its own Facebook page.
Twitter,
They had their own Facebook page on their page as far as their website. You could go there, you could join. I purposely joined just to see how Obama ran his campaign. And when I joined, he would have places set up where people could set up their own private meetings, and you got points if you had private meetings, and then he had a thermometer. And you were able to get private letters from him. You also could get a private dinner. He put your name in a drawing for a private dinner if you went to his website and joined. I mean, he was constantly creating. And every time I would bring this attention to the CRP, everyone kind of disclaimed me like, well, you're just voting for him because he's black. I said, look, you got to understand.
They said that?
Yeah. I said, this is a game.
Did you vote for him?
have to know how to play this game. I think the fact that if we vote or not vote, it's going to make a difference. And I think that people, where we are right now, I wouldn't vote for Obama right now. I think the American people shouldn't vote for Obama. But if they're not addressing the economy and they're not addressing the fact that people were homeless, he's going to still win because we don't have a front runner right now for 2011.
I have faith in that no matter who represents the Republican Party, they will be so focused on the economy.
We hope so. We hope so. If we get derailed talking about senior citizens and gays in the military, we're going to go back to our own antics and we'll cut our own throat on that.
And look for Obama and his campaign to try and put the conversation on gays in the military, try and put the conversation off of the economy.
I agree. He'll know the game. He knows how we'll easily slip into that and then we go into a defense. You know, are we going to be proactive or reactive? That's the question with the Republican Party. Is the Republican Party going to be reactive or proactive? And that's what we want to do. We want to be proactive with our agendas, with our issues. When we talk about capitalism and we talk about cutting taxes, when we talk about helping that small businessman be able to promote his business and be able to employ people, that's what the American dream is about. President Obama, and if you continue to be out there and you're talking about giving everything away, and Mr. Brown, Mr. Jerry Brown, I mean, what good is that going to do for our state with Nancy Pelosi? Look, California, well, for the last, 24, 25 years, we've always lost the presidency. We haven't really, this state has not really given its electoral votes to presidency for many, many years.
Right.
I think the best thing we need to do is come back home to California and work on getting Nancy Pelosi out of office.
Yeah, interesting you bring up California. I'll come back to Art Laffer again. He lived in, he's from California.
Okay.
Lived here for years. His office now in Nashville. He told us that, in fact, he lived 5 minutes from the studio.
Absolutely. Wow.
And he told us that he left California because the taxation and high regulation drove him out. He said he bought a new home in Nashville for the money he would have paid in taxes in California. Mm-hmm. So, interesting you bring up California.
Well, California is not a cheap state to live in. I have a lot of clients that are moving out of the state because of the fact that even if they own their home free and clear, they can't afford to pay the taxes. I have a client right now, we're in escrow because he's not because he can't afford the payment, he doesn't want to continue to pay the taxes. He pays $8,000 a year just on taxes as a single man, older elderly man alone. So there's a lot of people who are exiting our state.
Right.
And a lot of it is because we have allowed the liberals to continue to run this state and we're not holding our own people accountable. Look, Obama's going to do what Obama wants to do. And I can guarantee you, I'm going to guarantee you something I don't like to use that word, that California will not vote for a Republican president. We will not give our 55 electoral votes towards a Republican president. It is not going to happen. But they'll come here and ask us for money. They'll take our good dollar. So they'll come here and take our money, and then will they come back? Have you seen John McCain come back and do fundraisers to help the state of California?
No.
Have you seen anyone like Mitt Romney come back and help the state of California? I mean, Darrell Issel, my God bless Darrell. I love Darrell. Darrell's a lone soldier. He's by himself out there.
What's interesting is Newt Gingrich has been coming here every few weeks for the last year. He's out here raising, San Diego, Orange County.
Well, you know what that's called, right? It's called Pimp-a-Cali. That's right. If you don't know what that is, that's called Pimp-a-Cali. If you pimp someone in California, you too can get some money out of it. So here we are as a state and as a CRP. They need money. Are we going to give to the CRP? No, we'd rather give to the presidential candidate so we can get that handshake and that photo. Now, what good is that going to do us in the long run? Because, like I said, I really don't believe that this state is going to swing towards the right.
Is Shirley Hussar ever going to run for office?
Absolutely not. No, not at all. I like to be that person that talks so much trash to get in your face. You're like, get the hell out of here. I gotta be a warrior. I'm about the revolution. You know, this is about the change that needs to take place. This is almost like when we separated from the British and we became the Americans. When people thought that government was going to run, someone has to speak up for urban communities.
Right.
Someone needs to understand that every African American, every Latino, every Armenian, Japanese person is not always